Where my girls at? Independent, free spirit. Ooh, it's so serious. Where my girls at? We linked up in a cool minute. Where my girls at? It's going down, down. Where my girls at? It's going down, down. It's going down tonight. We going out tonight. Yeah, right. We going out tonight. It's going down tonight. Yeah, right. It's going down tonight. We going out tonight. Yeah, right. We going out tonight. It's going down tonight. Yeah, right.
Where my girls at? Where my girls at? Oh, wow. We got issues today. I am so excited to be with you today. It is Wisdom Wednesday, or whatever, Wise Wisdom Wednesday. It is a Wednesday for sure. And this is your host today, Gloria Mayfield Banks. We got issues, brought to you by the force of friendship. And listen, hear me now when I say 9:10 a.m. the Superstation, WFDF out of Detroit. We're so excited that you tuned in to be with us. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know if you're listening, just sitting in a chair, feet up, propped up, got your favorite water or whatever in your glass, enjoying us. Maybe you're washing clothes. Maybe you're washing dishes. Maybe you're mowing the lawn. I don't know what you're doing, but I'm super glad you're with us today. We are so excited about this show. We're so excited how you guys have embraced and fallen in love with this show. Can you even believe 8 months? We are serious talk radio hosts. Oh my gosh. And if you're new to us here at 9:10 a.m. the Superstation on this particular show, we got issues. We're here every day, Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. And we are bringing you some juice, the love, the laughter, the lessons. We're bringing into you today what's going on in the world and what you need to know about. I promise you, I personally have learned so much on this show myself. So I know if you guys are tuning in, you guys are getting some eye-opening information. Now, here's the deal. How does this work? How is this so super effective? It's super effective if the callers call in and give us a voice about what you're thinking. You call in by dialing 313-778-7600. And we're going to be talking about credit and cars and credit. It's a crazy world out there. And we have a phenomenal guest. You're going to love Regina Woodard. And I'm so excited when we get to bring her on. But wait a minute. We're not going to bring her on without talking about the girlfriends, the force. We've been together for 6 years, you guys. And we came together specifically because we honestly believe more people wanted to understand how to have great girlfriends, how to build great girlfriends, how to sustain great girlfriends, how you act in the light when the light is bright, and how you're supporting her when her days are dark. It's all about the girlfriends, because guess what? We all got issues. We got issues. You got issues. We're going to be talking about all the issues. Everybody called about issues. So we want you to call in. But before we do that, let's just go to the girlfriends. Sabrina Goodwin, Monday, formerly from North Carolina, out there in Ohio, falling in love with the state of Ohio. What's going on, Sabrina? What's going on?
You know what, Gloria? I'm just so grateful to have internet. Today is our first day with internet. Woo, woo, woo. You know, today's age, internet is like oxygen, man. You can't breathe without internet. And so I'm starting to feel myself. I mean, the moving truck showed up Thursday of last week. So it was Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I was just wiped out. Couldn't turn, I didn't know up from down. But today has been my best day so far in terms of just catching my breath and getting my center back. And moving is no joke, y'all. Moving is no joke. I don't know if it's this stage and age in life, but I'm telling you, this one was a doozy. And so the cable man, the internet man showed up today, and I said, well, where did you come from? Because we really are way out like in nowhere. And he said, we're Geneva on the Lake, Ohio. He said, well, I came from Erie, Pennsylvania. And I said, wow. So I found out that I'm 45 minutes from Erie, Pennsylvania, 50 minutes from Cleveland, Ohio. And then I said, well, what airport do you guys use up that way? I said, there's an airport in Erie. He said, no, sometimes I fly out of Buffalo, New York. Sometimes I go to Cleveland. I had to look at the map. I'm like, I'm close to Buffalo, New York. Okay. So just trying to get my bearings, just trying to get my bearings. Talking about we got issues. This girlfriend had some issues. And then the tornado siren went off 45 minutes ago. Big alarm. Take cover, take cover. And I'm like, do they think I'm still in North Carolina, or is this where I live right now? So I called Kenny. I said, Kenny, I got a tornado warning. He said, yeah, I got it too. This is probably real. You probably need to go in the basement. So thank God this house has a basement. And so, yes, we're missing Caterina. We're missing Crisette. Katrina's on vacay. Mother's on vacay. Crisette might join us on audio. Yes. There's Crisette. There's Crisette. There's Crisette.
Yep. She's trying to erase you. She's trying to erase you. She was.
Scared about her job because she was gone for a few days. I'm on the radio. I'm here. We're excited to have you here because Chris is right here. We got issues sitting in Detroit. You got to tell us all about your day. My goodness, we've been getting text messages. Talk about how to be a good girlfriend. If you can't experience it yourself, you allow your girlfriend to experience it. Chris, what's happening? What's happening? OMG. Well, you guys, first of all, let me just say, when I say it's been raining from the time I got up this morning up until now, it is rain, and more rain. So it is one of those rainy days where you're just like, I want to stay in the house. I'm not going anywhere. But it's a fall day. It is truly a fall day here in Detroit. But today, when I tell you, you guys, I went downtown Detroit to the TCF Center, and they have one display. It's called the Van Gogh Experience. And it's all about his life, his art. And, for people that love art, you say, I want to go to a museum and check out the Mona Lisa and all these famous artists, they're right there. And then people that aren't so much into art, they're kind of like, oh, that's going to be boring. I'm not into art like that. And my sister, Karen, she went with her husband, and I was like, well, okay, that's going to be interesting. It's one thing for you to go see art with your girlfriend, but to drag your husband might not be the best thing to do. And she came back and she went on and on and on. And she talked about how her husband, Earl, was like, if you got experience, this is the way to experience. So she convinced me. So I went with several of my girlfriends today. And when I tell you, those of you that live in the Detroit metropolitan area, you still have an opportunity. I think it's going through like the first week in October. It is the most beautiful, one of the most exciting exhibits that I've ever been to in my life. And that's it. Wow. Because I've been to a lot of things. Gloria, Sabrina, it was magnificent. The way they displayed his art, you learned about his life. You got to see his work, and it was moving. So you sat there, and all of his art was all around you, even on the floor. I wish you guys could just feel what I felt being in that room, watching this exhibit. And so they can absolutely hire me as the person to promote it. Because when I tell you, I was screaming from the mountaintop. Children need to see it. I'm making sure that our children's ministry at church takes the kids to see it. So if you ever hear about the Van Gogh exhibit coming to a city near you, trust me when I tell you, that's not one to sleep on. That's one you want to go to, and you want to go with your children, your girlfriends. It was amazing. So of course, my girlfriend I'm going to take a video, and it was okay. Like I was doing it illegal. They said you could take pictures, you just couldn't use a flash. You could, take video. And I sent it to them, and I know you guys were like, wow, it was absolutely phenomenal. So that's what I did this morning, and I'm still thinking about that exhibit to the point where I literally would go again. That's how amazing.
Wow. Well, Trish, you said it was the most amazing exhibit you've ever been at, and we have traveled with you around the world, many places. And then we know you've gone even more places around the world to some of the most phenomenal mountaintops, deepest valleys, widest rivers. And this is the best you've seen at home.
When it comes to, and let me press it by saying, when it comes to going to a museum and experiences, I should say that. We've gone to so many castles, and we've seen so many statues and so many stories. And once you see one castle, it's kind of like, okay, I don't want to sit through another presentation about another castle. Right. Different because it captures your attention, and it's the colors. And I'm going to say this, and I mean this. It literally touched you to your soul, where it was so inspiring. I love saying, I want to do something great. I mean, and his story, he really, I love saying he needed Jesus and medicine. He did. He needed Jesus and medicine because, he has a problem. He cut off his ear, but he didn't really think that he didn't value himself, and he didn't think that he would amount to anything. And I said, the lesson in it was so sad because I said, look at all of these people experiencing his work, his magnificent, and he died not knowing how magnificent he was.
Wow. And that's most of us. Most of us die not realizing how magnificent we are because we're so busy seeing what's missing. OMG. Girl, you were a motivational talk today. Yes, Crisette Ellis on the radio. I mean, seriously, you really have opened up our eyes to do so much, Chris. That is very exciting. So you guys, you heard her. If it's
another time that girlfriends make a difference, another time that the tribe can get together and inspire people to do something that maybe they would not have done otherwise. So thank you. I'm so excited that you're able to join us. You guys, seriously, I'm getting ready to take off for Houston tomorrow. I'll be down in Houston working with Coach Stormy Wellington and at the Awakening event. I've never been to one of her events before, but I'll be going as one of the keynotes. She's having like 16 speakers. So it's going to be an experience for me. So tune in and watch us on our social media, because we will, like Chris posted on our social media. So watch for the Force of Friendship. Watch for our social media as we bring you experiences through the radio station, but also through our lives in other areas. Then tomorrow at 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, I'm going to be on Clubhouse being interviewed, and I'm going to be talking about domestic violence. I'm going to be talking about how to work through the dark times. And so that's going to be on Clubhouse. If you're familiar with Clubhouse, you can find me on there at Gloria Banks. So there's a lot going on, but we're going to go to our topic now because I want to invite you guys to hear. So can you please bring in our guest, Regina? We are excited to have this fireball, you guys. Fireball, brilliant queen. Let me tell you a little about Regina. And let me just say this. I said to her earlier, I said, Regina, I need you to brag about yourself. When I have a guest on, I like the guest to brag about themselves, because we need to know in our culture how bright we are, how successful we are, how hungry we are, how curious we are, how talented we are, and how much we have to offer. And sometimes we don't know. So I love on the Force of Friendship that we're lifting up people and how you can connect with her. And also Crisette being literally in Detroit, me from Detroit, Regina's in Detroit area, and Chris was working with car dealers this week. So we're very excited about this topic. But let me tell you about Regina first. Better known as listen to this, y'all, Queen of Car Loans and Credit. Queen. Now, first of all, let's just say we love queens. We love queens. We love to be queens. We love to make queens. We're all about the queens. So the Queen of Car Loans and Credit was born and raised in Pontiac, Michigan. Regina has been helping people build their credit to get them into a new or used car that they love since 1998, over 23 years. Regina is a member of the elite sales team at Joe Lunghammer Chevrolet in Waterford, Michigan. Regina knows special financing inside and out. If anyone can get you in our car, it's Regina. Regina works harder for her clients than anyone in the industry and treats them like family. Regina is the founder of the Queen's Future Successors, a nonprofit 501c3 organization. The Queen's Future Successors focuses on helping the youth, we love that, the youth in the community understand the importance of having good financial health and starting that process at a young age. Regina serves as a board member of the Chamberlain House, which provides assisted living and volunteers for Pontiac's Meals on Wheels, which feeds over 300 seniors per day. She has served on the board of the Boys and Girls Club and the Metro Chamber of Commerce. You guys, she's in the industry, she's in the community, she's in the youth, and we got her and we got issues. We got her on We Got Issues as one of our new girlfriends. Regina, welcome, welcome, welcome. And tell them a little bit more about yourself and why you're so passionate.
Well, first of all, I want to give thank you all to Force of Friendship for having me on the show. I really appreciate it. I am honored. So thank you very much. It's always good to be around successful women and successful women that you look up to, but successful women you want to be like. So I have been watching you guys from behind the scenes for months. And, you know, this opportunity is like once in a lifetime. So I appreciate that. But my name is Regina, the Queen of Car Loans. I was born and raised in Pontiac, Michigan. I've been in the automotive business for 23 years. But listen,
wow,
I actually didn't, you know, I'm in the automotive business, but, you know, I went to college. I went to Oakland Community College. I have an associate's degree in psychology, and I have a bachelor's from Oakland University out of Rochester, Michigan. And I have that in sociology. And people say to me, well, how did you end up in the car business? And I say, well, you know what? You know, I connect dots. I'm a problem solver. That's why they call me the queen. So being a problem solver, being, you know, wanting to work with people for social work and helping people with the problems, I decided to get in the car business. But when I decided to get in the car business, when people see how tall I am, they realize that, you know what, why is she so tall? Did she play basketball? Well, let me just tell you why, you know, I'm so tall, because I was taller than my mother and taller than my father, but I was #1 rebounder in the nation when I played junior college ball. So I was hard on the balls. You know, I took the balls off the back of the board. So I was #1 rebounder in the nation, and I had 29 points and 29 rebounds in one game at Oakland Community College.
Wow.
Yes.
In the nation. Wait, let's sit on that for a minute. Let's sit on that for a minute, because those skills that you brought up in the youth, in the sports, and we're big in sports in this our community of the Force of Friendship, because we have a Olympic gold medal husband that's like leading us in the sports conversation. So when you say you're #1 in the nation on rebounding, that's exciting. At least the question, how tall are you? And then continue on.
Well, you know, according to my doctor back in the day, according to my doctor back in the day, I'm 5'11 3/4. You know, so, you know, back in the day, that was tall for that era. And I played center.
Wow.
Yes.
That's amazing. Rebounder and a center. Excellent. Keep going. So what got you here? What got you here?
That led into when, you know, when I was working in my field as a caseworker, I had a good friend of mine, God bless his soul. I called him every day for 6 months. I said, you know, I want to get in this car, you know, I want to get in the car business. I'm excited. I want to help people. And finally, you know, I got invited to the dealership. I put an application in, and that's where my career started. And I found a niche back 23 years ago that I didn't realize that it would be a huge niche to this day. And actually, this particular niche is helping me survive right now in the automobile business. And that is, you know, people say, you know, Gina, why do you call yourself the queen? Well, I help good people with bruised credit get into vehicles. And right now is it's a hard time because of COVID, and even before COVID, it was a hard time. But I walk a person through the process of getting into a car. You have people that make $200,000 a year, $150,000 a year, and life happens. It's just not the people that make $20,000 or $25,000 a year. Credit has a number, but it does not have a face. You can be black, white, orange, and had credit problems. But how do you bounce back? So I walk you through that process of getting into that vehicle. But also, if you need credit repair, I'm there for you too. So I'm there all around the clock.
Hold that thought for a second. Hold that thought for a second, because I want you to go deeper into the both areas, the credit repair and the fact that you help people get cars, because it's such a broad way that you help people. And I love that. And we're going to go to break really quickly because we have to pay the creditors for sure. But we're coming back to We Got Issues, and we're coming back with the queen of car credit out of Detroit herself. But did you guys hear her say she solves problems? She knows her business and she solves problems. So in this 3-minute break, we want you to go and get some friends and tell them we're talking about it on We Got Issues. And we're going to be back in just a few minutes with some stats and some information that's going to rock your world. This is 9:10 a.m., the Superstation, and We Got Issues. We'll see you in a minute.
All right. Hello, Facebook family. Oh my goodness. We're with Regina, the queen of cars and credit. So we're going to learn a lot. We're going to learn a whole lot, and we're going to take notes. And I know you know somebody who can use this information. Invite them, share this broadcast, turn them on to this information. You know what? We're always coming to you with good topics, good guests. The queen of car loans and credit, Regina's Instagram account. You can find her there, you guys. I mean, really, credit is so important. Finding your niche is so important. Did you hear she was the #1 rebounder in the country? The girl can ball. So she takes those skills and she applies them to what she does every day now. And that's being a beast at it. She's confident. She's intentional. She is focused. She is fired up. She's passionate. Can't you see all of those attributes? Yes. Well, you guys, we hope you're doing good. Your girl here finally is feeling like herself. When I tell you that move, it was something else. But we are here now in beautiful Northeast Ohio and getting settled in. I am looking for some help right now to unpack these boxes and get a little settled into this new environment. Moving is a trip. How do people do it without GPS? If I go to the store, I get lost getting home. I make a wrong left. I make a wrong right. But it's exciting. New beginnings. I posted in my social media today. You are not a tree. Move when necessary. Be brave. Take risk. Do something you've never done before. And that's what Regina said. She said, I knew I wanted to help people. I wanted to find my passion. And I called the dealership and said, hey, I want to try it out. And now 23 years later, here she is, highly successful. So you guys, it's going to be exciting tomorrow. I'm going to be on with my birth sister, Regina. Her name is Regina. So 2 Reginas back to back. And we're going to talk about Muhammad Ali. Have you guys caught that PBS special? Well, he is one of her favorite people in the whole wide world. God bless his soul. We met him together a couple of times. So we're going to talk all about that. So we're always looking for topics. We're always looking for guests. DM us, type it in the chat, share this broadcast. We're so glad you're here. All right, we'll be back. Talk to you.
We're talking about credit. We're talking about cars. We're talking about changes. We're talking about support. And we're so excited to be here with Regina, the queen of car credit. Let me just say it with some energy. Let me just tell you guys some facts really quickly. The car buying consumer market isn't going anywhere. There was a 1,200 increase on the average price of a new vehicle in 2019. New vehicle sales reached over $1 trillion in 2019. In 2018, 28% of the car buyers agreed that owning and leasing vehicle is becoming too expensive. So Regina's right there in the midst of it. I want to say this. I want to thank for helping us identify you, Regina, because I call her Callie, if it wasn't for her and her mother being friends of We Got Issues, you would not be here. So I just want to tell our tribe, we absolutely love it when you guys bring us recommendations of amazing people that will help all of us do better. We're going to go to the 2 callers that we have right quick, Regina and Sabrina and Crisette. We know you're there. So Marathon, are you there for us?
Yes, how y'all doing?
We're doing so good, Marathon.
So good, Marathon. How are you today?
Yeah, that rain has been raining all day. It stopped for a little while. I got to the party school to get my snacks because I'm going to look at the black version of the Wonder Years on ABC today.
Yeah, it's coming on tonight. It's going to be so spooky. I saw something today on Tambour Hall. Excellent.
I want to see how it's going to be.
Well, we're so glad you called in, Marathon. We can count on you all the time. Thanks so much.
All right, enjoying the show. I kind of made my credit mistakes in my 20s, so I'm kind of recovering now. I haven't tried to get any big purchase, so I might try and get a car soon.
Oh, actually, you got to make sure you visit the queen of credit, car credit, for sure.
Yeah.
We'll be giving you some more information. Yes, thank you. Marathon is in the Detroit area as well. And then we have Buck. Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you, Marathon. Thank you. We have Buck on.
Hey, what's going on? Hey, how you doing? I love.
Where you driving to today, Buck? Where you driving to today? The truck driver. Where you driving to today?
Oh, you know, I'm at my skipper right now. I just hooked up to my load. I said I'm gonna get my talk in before I hit the road. You know how I do it. Hey, when y'all was talking about the financing, man, it brought me back to one of the most troubling times in my life. And I said, I'm gonna call and share because I might reach somebody out there that's probably thinking about financing. Listen, I was 26 years old. I got my taxes, right? Y'all know how we are when we get those taxes. Right. I got my taxes back, about $4,000. I took $3,000 to the dealership, got me a nice car. But what I didn't know at that time is that nice car needed full coverage insurance. Okay? And I didn't calculate that into my monthly bills. I was really check to check. I just wanted to floss it, something real nice, right? And I took my $3,000 down there, and 6 months later, I had a repossessed car, and I still had to pay off the finance company. And I ain't even had that car no more. And that was a lesson I learned, and I never financed again. I would jump on Craigslist and buy me a $3,000 car so fast and fix on that car if it breaks down, and I'll use my money that I was paying all the payments with to fix on that car. I'm not saying don't finance. Finance if you got it like that. Having it like that means you got money in the bank that handle your essential bills for 4 months, even if you don't work. If you don't have that money like that, y'all be aware. If you get that, you go take your $3,000, $4,000, take $2,000 down there. You could have went and bought you a car with that money and had no payments and couldn't nobody take that car from you. But you go out there and you spend that money, $4,000, put it down, you get a nice low payment, and that car get repossessed, you still got to pay back that finance company. And you don't have no car. Okay?
Hey, Bob.
Your car go down, and your car go down, you still got to pay that bill. You still got to pay for that car and get your car fixed. And you got to calculate all of those into the factor when you talk about going financing the car. And I just thought when y'all came out with that topic today, it just touched my heart. And I just went right back to when I was 26 and how heartbroken I was. When I still had to pay off that car, didn't have a car, you know, and I said I'd never do it again. But I just wanted to share that. That's really all I wanted to do. Because somebody out there probably listening to the sisters, much power to the sisters. And they're like, oh, I'm going to go finance me a car. Oh, you better understand that it's some more to it than just going to put that money down and paying them car notes. Right. Do your research and make sure you can handle it.
Right. But let me tell you something. I'm so glad that you called in because you gave us a story of what a lot of people have experienced. And when you call in like when you tell your true story like you just did, very transparency, you really do help a lot of people and you guide the conversation. So I thank you so much for calling to We Got Issues so we can touch on that topic because it's a real topic. And the way things were when you were 26, the way things are now, and all the changes. Sometimes I want to
times the things have happened to us 10 years ago or 15 years ago, we think they're the same, and things change so quickly. And that's why someone like Regina is such a big asset to us right now, because she can tell us what's going on in the moment right now. We got one more caller we're going to go to. Marshana, are you there?
I am here. Can you guys hear me?
We hear you really loud and clear. Thank you for calling in. We got issues 9:10 a.m. the Superstation. Talk to us.
All right. Let me first just say you guys are some beautiful ladies, and thank you for having this topic on today. It's so informative. I have a question for Regina. What are the biggest do's and don'ts when it comes to car buying? You know, we get excited sometimes when we're ready to buy that car, and we get to the dealership, you know, we're all in our feelings and our emotions, you know, and sometimes I've learned that you can't make wise decisions, you know, when you're in an emotional state. So just enlighten us, Regina, on what are the biggest do's and don'ts when we decide to head to the dealership.
Thank you for calling in, Marcetta, and that's a great question. What I always tell my customers is that you need to have your need and your wants. What do you need and what do you want? And your needs are, do you need 2 doors? You need 4 doors. You need a convertible? You need a family vehicle? What do you need? Mm-hmm. Then I say, you know what? What kind of payment can you afford? That's a need. What kind of payment can you afford? What is your budget? Not what you think you can afford, is what can you really afford? Mm-hmm. And then your wants is, you know, okay, yeah, you probably want that Cadillac, but then maybe you only can afford that Chevy Spark. I want to give you an example. I remember when, I wanted to go get a Range Rover, and, I was only on my second car that I financed. And he said, Regina, I got some good news for you and some bad news. Good news is I got you approved for that BMW 525 over there instead of that Range Rover, because you gotta take those steps to get to that next step. So again, you gotta see you gotta have what you need and you want. Then the next thing what you gotta do is you gotta know what your budget is. Again, you gotta know what you can afford. When you know your budget, you gotta look at, okay, I got my car payment, I got my insurance. And I always recommend one thing what Buck said, what he didn't know. Whether you pay cash for car finance, you need to put full coverage insurance on your car, mm-hmm. because if something happens, you want to be covered. So then you want to think about, okay, you want to have an account for what? For maintenance accounts. So It's just, I go through so much, Marcetta. I could go to you. You know what, Marcetta, I want to put you on the wait list for my online course, How to Buy a Car with Boost Credit, because I want to put people in the process. What do you do from the beginning of buying a car? What do you do if you get the high interest rate? In Michigan, the highest interest rate you can get, Marcetta, is 25%. And I think in Georgia, it might be 30%. That blew me away
when she told me about the 25%. That's just craziness that people do that, Regina. That's craziness.
So with my online course, I'm gonna walk you through the process. What do you do as when you get that car? What do you do to refinance? What's the steps you need to look for? And just different things that you need to do. And let me just plug this before I forget. If you want to go and get on the wait list, you can go to Regina, the Queen of Car Loans, and Regina, the Queen of Car Loans with an S /contact, and get on the waiting list. And if you get on the waiting list, I'll do drips on you every week on content. But I hope that gives you a little bit of what you should do, Miss Marcetta.
Regina, I want to thank Marcette for calling in, because again, it made such a difference. That was a great question that gave us a breadth of information. So I thank you for calling in. I really do. Yeah, you're absolutely welcome. And thank you for the compliment. Regina, I love the fact that you're putting a course online, because sometimes people don't know where to ask for questions, but in their own space, in their own place, they can go through your course bit by bit. And what I love about this is that, we have family members and friends who don't want to speak up, don't want to tell people their truth yet, but they want the information and they want to get preparing people, because you know what? They said of the three major purchases, you got a mortgage, you got a car,
Right.
and you got a car note. I mean, a car and car insurance. And car insurance, right? Those are large, like the largest budget hits that you will have in your monthly budget. So to do that makes a big difference. They said car price. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
So let me just say this. People don't understand that 2020, there's 2 million of people out there in America that have gotten their car repossessed, right?
How many?
There's 18 people a day that get their car repossessed. And 65% of the people that get new cars get their vehicle repossessed. And
wow, unbelievable.
Yes.
65%. 65% of people who buy new cars, their cars get repossessed.
Their cars get repossessed. Yes, and that's statistic. You can Google that. So I'm not pulling numbers out the sky.
Right.
So Regina, is that because they're just buying the cars, they're not thinking about affordability, they're just doing an emotional buy? The car dealership says, hey, you're approved. They drive off the lot and they can't even pay the car note. Is this what happened? Is this how that's happening? 65% is astounding.
Well, let me just say it's a number of things. Because you can look at what people or customers get into cars that they can't afford, right? That's for one, right? Trying to be like the Joneses. Is number two is they're making bad decisions. And another way is maybe whoever they went to, the salesperson or dealership, just didn't treat them right, just didn't walk them through the process. Because the one thing I always say when I give a customer, when their interest rate is high and it's a payment that I know that is not normal, right? I always tell them, you know what, this is what you need to do. This is what you need to do in 6 months. This is what you need to do in 7 months. You date the car, you don't marry it. I think what a lot of customers do when they get that car and they have the high interest rate, is that they marry the car. They think, okay, I'm just going to get this car. I'm just going to make the payments on time. And then life happens. But what you have to do is you have to know that you need to go to that credit union. You need to go be able to refinance that car. So if you got a car and you got it, say today, 6 months later, I want to say the next week or within 30 days, if you don't belong to a credit union, you need to do what? You need to go join a credit union, because credit unions are owned by the people. Chase, Bank of America, of course, they're easy to get to, because I have an account at Chase and Bank of America, but I belong to the credit union, because if I need some money, the credit union gonna give it faster to me than Bank of America or Chase would. So I guess what I want to say to anybody that's listening is that if you belong to one of the big banks, get yourself on over to the credit union and make grow your relationship with them. You can grow
your relationship, right?
Grow your relationship. It's all about. This is how I came on the show. Relationships.
Right.
So get on over there and build that relationship so that you can refinance that car. Or another thing, what you can do is when you get that car is when you go make that relationship at that credit union, know that the minute your car walks off the lot, your car is going to lose equity. I mean, you're going to lose. The value is going to go down. The equity, your value of your car is going to go down, whether you buy a new car or you buy a used car. So another tip I want to give everyone is that
before you do that, can you write that tip down? Don't lose that tip. I want to go to the caller really quickly.
Okay.
Gail's on the call. She might have a question that we need to answer. Gail, do you have a thought for We Got Issues? We're so glad that you called in. Welcome, Gail.
Thank you. My question is, I'm considering obtaining a car, and I was wondering, what is the difference between buying and leasing, and which one would you prefer? Which one would you recommend, leasing or buying? Okay, so let me ask you a question.
Do you travel a lot of miles?
No, I don't. Okay.
10 to 15,000 miles a year?
That much.
Okay.
Drive, no. If I'm going distance, mainly I will fly.
Okay. So the great thing about leasing is that you get a car every 2 or 3 years. You can turn your car over every 2 or 3 years. You can walk into the dealership and say, you know what? Here's the keys. I want to get into another car. So that's one benefit. And then the second benefit of leasing is that if you're under your warranty of 36,000 miles, you know, for your vehicle, then you're always going to be in factory. You're going to always be in a warranty. So if you buy, your payment's going to be higher. A lot of people lease because they want that nice vehicle and they want that cheap payment. Now think about it. If you lease looking at a $50,000, $60,000 car, yeah, your payment's going to be higher because you have the higher MSRP, the higher sticker price. And when you buy your car, you try to look to trade in 2 or 3 years, and you're tired of it. Then you got to look at trading your car in, what it's worth, and what you owe on it. So you run into that. And I tell people now, I even had to tell my mom when I first got in the car business in 1998, 99, my mom bought cars for years. I had to pull teeth and nail to get her to lease because that's what she was used to. Times have changed. And I've told my mom, you don't die with your car. You know, why are you passing cars down to your family? You know, cars are going to break down. So if anything, you pass your home down to your family. You know, you don't pass your car down.
Fabulous question. That was a fabulous question. Thank you so much.
And thank you
so much for calling in. We
got issues. And I'm gonna tell you something. Valerie Johnson said, she said, I have a question for Regina. She asked a question on Facebook. How long should you wait to refinance after purchase with a high interest rate? Her dealer said 6 months. How long should she wait, Regina, before she refinances? If she purchases,
I would say the golden rule is 6 months. You know, but you know, in some cases, it just depends on really what's going on with your credit. You know, I would get over to that credit union, and I'm gonna say it again, credit union. I would get over that credit union next month, you know, and start talking because in most cases, the credit union is the reason why that you end the high interest rate, and the credit union is going to want to see some on-time payments. So on-time payments mean you pay your payment on time, you're not 30 days late, and also it might be even 6 months to a year. But let me just say this, do not get into the golden rule of what salespeople do when they put you into a car. Get this car. You can always trade it in a year. You can always refinance. Everybody is not able to refinance their car. So let me just say that, you know, some people can and some people can't.
Right. Yeah. Hey, Chris.
This is so good. Thank you so much for joining us on today. So my question is this. You know, you see a lot of commercials about Carvana, Carteroo's, and you're not going to a dealership to purchase a car anymore. You can do it right there in your living room. Just pull up the app, click, like a vending machine. You can get a car. So I know that's something new. I would never, thinking back, you know, before earning my cars, you know, buying a car was, you went to the dealership and there was always pressure around it and, you know, that kind of thing. And so the commercials are kind of saying, oh, you know, you don't have to deal with the pressure of the car dealers, but just go and you can pretty much buy color and everything you want. So tell us how has that affected your industry? Is that something you would tell people, you want to shy away from? What is your perspective on those kind of ways to purchase a car?
Well, you know what? That's a great question. You know, I do TikTok videos, and you can find me on TikTok at Regina, the Queen of Car Loans. And I educate folks every day, 7 days a week. I'm doing a video, just gives you 3 minutes, and I'm talking about car buying. I'm talking about credit. So with Carvana and with Vroom, they have actually tried to take over the car business. And with doing that, you know, let me ask you a question. Are you going to get a car from Carvana or Vroom? If something happens to your car, who are you going to call? You're going to call somebody at Carvana. Hello, my car's broke down. You know, what do I do? Who do I need to take it? They are not going to care. They're going to sell you the car. And then that's all they're going to do. You know, it's two major people that's important at a car dealership across the world. Whether you buy your car online or you go into the dealership. And that's the salesperson and the service department. The salesperson is the most important because you want to develop that relationship. Now, how I get my business is we like to rely through the customers through the door, come through the door. I get my business from TV commercials that I do with the owner of my dealership and my Facebook ads and referrals, right? So my thing is that it's a warm referral. And then what I do is after they buy the car, I'm taking them to the service department, or I'm giving them the telephone number, the name of my card of the person in the service department. You want to be able to talk to someone after the sale if something goes wrong. At Carvana, they're going to refer you to a nearest dealership or to just somewhere to get your car taken care of, you know. And what I'm finding out now is with Carvana and Vroom is that if you even go to even TikTok, you got a lady talking about how she bought a car on there and she had issues. Nobody would pick up the phone after the fact and nobody would deal with it. And nobody, I guess her car didn't get paid off 2 months later. And she had 60 days later on her credit report. You know, they gave her what she wanted for her car. Listen to me, gave her exactly what she wanted. But they were 2 months late paying her car off. And she just really talked about it. So if something goes wrong and you go through a car dealership, even if you're in another state, you know, you can send someone into that dealership, or you can walk. If you're in the same state, you can walk into the dealership and look somebody in the face. Because if I'm not there, the dealership's going to be there. Mm-hmm. So I'm not gun ho on Vroom and Carvana. And let me just say this: back before July, I think it was the middle of July. Because used car market prices were so, you know, you could be in your lease. And when you lease a car, on your contract, there's a residual value on your vehicle. So at the end of your lease, that's the price that you can buy your car for. But now, this has never happened in the history of buying cars ever, even before I got in the business. Right. You have never had a value of a car, the residual value, the price of a car, higher than the residual value. So what people were doing was they were going to different dealerships, getting a price of $25,000. If they have to buy us $25,000, and for them to buy the car, but the car's price is just say $30,000. They got $5,000 in equity. So what they're doing is the dealership is not going to give them that, right? Because we got to make money. But they're going to Carvana. Carvana is giving them more of what they want, right? And they're cutting the dealership out. So what General Motors decided is they tried to do what Ford did. Carvana, no third party dealer, nobody can buy the car except the owner, the person that actually buys the car. They cut it out where the other companies, Vroom and Carvana, can come in and take our business, take our customers' cars, and take our business. So we in the industry, even at the top, they're getting smarter to have people, you know, just, I mean, you can get a little bit of business, but you can't come over and be a stakeholder with something that's been going on for 100 years. And that's the car buying process.
That's excellent. Chris, that's a fabulous question because I've often wondered about that. I really was wondering about that. We have a caller, and let me tell you something, Regina, when you said TikTok, Caterina couldn't get there fast enough to look you up on TikTok. Like, bam, I'm going to TikTok. So y'all have to go to TikTok and find the queen of car credit. Did I say that right? On TikTok, for real. You know,
it's Regina, the queen of car loans. But yes, that's it. Yes.
The queen of car loans on TikTok. Okay, great. Carl, you're there on the caller. You called into We Got Issues at the 910 AM.
Yes, thank you for taking my call. Yeah, one of the things, me and my wife, not some years back, matter of fact, also, a lot of the stuff you're saying is the truth. Now, there's a lot of shadiness when they try to sell you a car, a used car, or a new car. It depends really how much money you bring down, even if your credit is shaky. Now, for example, car for like $20,000, bring a nice substantial amount of money to put down on it. Do you know that the companies, the finance companies, they'll charge you interest on the money that you bringing in, that you didn't even borrow from the bank? Say it's a car, $20,000. You come in there with $7,000. How you going to charge me interest on $7,000? It's simple arithmetic. The remainder is $13,000. So you're going to charge me interest on the money that right there? Me and my wife took off running out the dealership. You know, that's another shady thing that they do. I learned that. So it's best for people really to save their money and go back and get used cars if you can. That's because You know what I'm saying? Have you heard of that before?
Great question.
No, okay.
I'm sorry.
Were you?
No, I was just like, go ahead.
Have you heard of
So
that?
let me say this. You the second caller that called in and said, you know, if you can get money for your car, you pay cash for your car. I think that's what you meant in so many words, but it's no more back in the day. I mean, if I was been in the car business 23 years, you know, okay, I'm in my 50s, right? And it's no more cash is king. Credit is king. So whether we like it or not, no matter what it is, we got to be realistic. If you smart, you know, not everybody has their values and their ways, but I refuse to let customers tell me that they'd rather pay cash for a car than do your credit. Because guess what? If you don't have that cash in the bank, and some people don't, and they have excellent credit, no matter whether it's a $10,000 car, $15,000 car, it's better for them to do what? To finance that car. And the reason they want to finance that car, if somebody's making $25,000 a year, they're not making that much money. They don't have $20,000 in the bank or $15,000 in the bank unless they inherited or maybe it's a lottery or whatever, right? I encourage them to, you know, you finance that car, because if you need that money to go do something else, you'll have that money. But, you know, one thing what I always tell my customer, on your contract, you have the interest that you're going to pay on your car. You got the APR, which is annual percentage rate, right? And you got, at the end, it's going to tell you how much you're going to pay for your car if you kept it that long. Yeah, you're going to pay double, triple, right? But that depends on your credit. You're going to pay interest on the car. Yes, you're going to pay more. But I always tell my customers, if you got to get into that high interest rate loan, you know, you need to figure out how you can get out of it. And that's when you can talk to me. It doesn't matter what state you're in. And you don't just have to buy a car from me in Waterford. You can reach me again. You can go to my website, reginathequeenofcarloans.com/contacts. Put your information in there. I'll put you on the waiting list for my online course, but you have a conversation. But you can also go to my website, reginathequeenofcarloans.com, and book a consultation with me for free for 10 minutes. I've talked to people in different states 4 times a week. I make time. So I don't know if that helped, or I know it's not just going to change your mind, but I just wanted to, you know, my passion is always there. So.
Credit. Cash is still king in a way. If the car is $20,000, and listen to me now, and you put $7,000, you can tell they don't want you to walk out that dealership because we got another agreement somewhere else. Their job is to sell a car. Correct. If you tell them that, because you can take $7,000 and go buy something else, they're going to, no car dealership want you to walk out. They were just being arrogant at the time. And if you have good credit, of course, and you come with cash, you can say anything you want. And if they don't want to, the hell with them. That's how, you know what I'm saying. Yeah. But people, I understand that you say struggling people, and even people with, it depends how much money you bring down on that car or that vehicle. If they don't want, I mean, what dealership want to let you walk out with a nice substantial amount of money? They're going to find somebody to finance you. That's what I'm saying. So one dealership told us no. The other dealership said, okay, we can make it happen. Because what's left? $13,000 to finance, and you can call and say how much you're going to pay. So I understand they really get geared for people that really don't know that market.
Okay, so
I've been through it all.
So let me just say this, because I know we winding down here, and I don't want to hold you on the call so long. But let me just give you an example, because I like to share information, but I like to share examples. Right? Had a guy, you know, I always sell examples. I never share names. Right? Even if I share a name, it's not the person's real name. Right? So this customer, he had a 510 credit score, and he told me, I got $6,000 down, sis. I want to get into this pickup truck. Pickup truck, $44,000. Never paid anybody. Right? Then he called me back. He said, Regina, I got $15,000 down. We tried with $15,000 down. The bank still said no. So cash is not always king, no matter how much money you have, unless maybe you come in maybe with half the vehicle, half the price. Vehicle was $45,000. I mean, you know, you come in with half of that amount. They might say yes, but this particular bank didn't even want to touch him with $15,000 down on a $44,000 car. They on a $44,000 truck. They didn't want to touch him. So I can't agree with you because I do this every day. I can't agree with you that cash is king. But I'm not trying to change your mind. I'm just sharing facts because this is what I do every day. So
thank you, Carl.
It was nice talking to you.
Thank you so much, Carl, because when you call in, you give us another story, another perspective, and that gave Regina an ability to educate us even more. So, Carl, I want to thank you so much. You both are talking about something that's really important that I want to highlight really quickly is because Regina gets an excellence in helping other people with credit, because it's not just about cars, it's also about the credit. Listen to this, you guys. Roughly 26%, 26 million Americans are credit invisible, meaning they have no credit history at all. 19 million Americans have credit history that has gone stale or is insufficient to produce a score under most common scoring models. 18% of adults between 18 and 24 say they have never checked their credit scores, Regina. 21% of adults say they check their credit scores monthly, but education level, bank account balance, stock portfolio, employment status, and salaries are all not factored into your credit score. So the credit score business in and of itself is a very complicated, needed to understand arena. And the fact that you said that cash is not always king really opens up a whole nother conversation that, you know, we say it because it's a slogan, and what you're saying is it really depends.
You know what? First of all, I want to say this is I did a video on TikTok a few days ago, and you know, you got individuals that, you know, have paid cash for their cars for years and they have no credit. They have nothing, no credit. Or you have the 18, 19-year-olds, 20-year-olds, or I mean, you could be, it doesn't even matter age. You could have no credit because you haven't used your credit, right? And the easiest way to actually get credit, and you have no credit, I'm not talking about you got bad credit, but you have no credit, is to become an authorized user on someone else's account. You know, and that's huge. Become an authorized user means that you're going to piggyback on someone else's credit card. And, you know, I have had customers done that. They've had 0 Bureau credit score. And then within 6 months, they had a 725 or 750 and then 700s. Because what is because they piggyback on someone else's credit card. Now, I do want to say there's 2 things what you want to look at when you actually piggyback on someone else's credit card. You just don't say, you know what, I'm gonna get on your credit card. You want to ask these 2 questions. You want to say, you know what, do you make your payments on time? You know, and I'm giving out, do you make your payments on time? Because if they miss a payment and they don't have a habit of paying their bills on time, guess who's going to affect? It's going to affect you because you piggybacking on their actually credit card. And number 2 is what is their credit utilization? Is it 30%? You know, or is it higher? Do you max out your credit card every month? You know, do you at 10,000? You have a $10,000 limit, and you at 9,500 every month. That's going to hurt you. Right. So I believe that a lot of customers now are educating themselves, right? But they're not letting the professionals, the salespeople, and to guide them. You know, they come in and start asking all these questions, but they don't let the salesperson guide them on what they need to do because of Google and all this education, they know it all. And they end up talking themselves out of getting a car loan or getting with the right person. And let me say this one last thing.
You are fired. We got the music coming. The show is going to close. They're going to play over you, and I don't want them to miss you. I want them to go on here and see all the ways that you can contact her. Her course is coming, and you want to be on the waiting list because she is fire. She is passionate, and she is clear about what she knows. And hey, she's not going to just agree with you. She's going to tell you like it is. So I'm excited. Thank you for coming on our show today, Regina. Thank you guys for cluing in. You tuned in to 9:10 a.m., the Superstation. We got issues. And you heard Regina say it. She doesn't just deal with people in Michigan. She can help you everywhere. So make sure you go find her. We're going to make sure. Thank you. We'll see you tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we got issues. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye. Thanks, Regina.
Thank you.